En ons gaan gesels nou met John Matthews en hy is die groepshoof van Garden Sites, President Masters Builders South Africa en ook die voorsitter van die COVID-19 Construction Rapid Response Task Team. Good morning, John.
Good morning to you.
Let's just start with a little bit of background, John. Yourself in the construction business?
Myself in the construction business. Oh, okay, thank you. I've been in the construction business for 34 years now. Been CEO of Garden Cities, a property developer and a construction company in Cape Town in the Western Cape for that period. Born and bred Cape Townian, and the company itself is 101 years old today. Been in the property business and the development business for 101 years. The oldest utility housing company in the country.
Can we borrow money from you? No, I'm joking. Sorry, I just said sites, not cities. So if we talk about the Construction Rapid Response Task Team, and I think that's something also new, that someone say the new world. So give us a little bit more background exactly what you guys are doing and planning. And I mean, I think you worked with government and really trying to change things.
Yes, it's very, very new. Firstly, it was born out of the Master Builders South Africa and our regions, our MBA regions. The MBSA felt at the time that, and this is pre-COVID, just on COVID, when it started, this lockdown started, and everything shut down. You will recall that we had 3 days to shut down the entire country. All the construction sites were closed. And the idea was born out of the fact that what happens when COVID is over, or what happens if the sites have to go back? Firstly, because of the challenges that we've had in the lockdown, the short-term goals of the Rapid Response Task Team was to lobby government, and still is, to unlock the industry. There's this feeling that you cannot open the economy because of the virus, or the lockdown will have major implications, which it will. But I think there has to be a balance between the two. You can't have people not earning money in a time when it is obviously badly needed. So the short-term goals of the Rapid Response Task Team was to lobby for government, like many other associations, to lobby for government to unlock the industry in a controlled environment. But the mandate, or certainly the goals of the task team, go beyond that. Now that we are ready on Monday to go back to business, we now need to make sure that we go back to business in a proper manner. You can't just go and open your sites and everything will be fine again. The task team have devised a very strict code in terms of health and safety regulations, and it also made those submissions to the government as guidelines to get construction companies to buy into the fact, because you are actually by law required to do so in any case, but to buy into the fact that you need to protect yourselves and your employees during this period that we have. And then beyond that, there are also medium and long-term goals. And this is probably more important because, as we know, the construction industry has been in a very, very bad state for the last 10 years prior to COVID. And all that COVID has done, and to say the proverbial cherry on the cake is probably what we should be saying in terms of disaster. And what COVID has done is highlighted the fact that we have to somehow find a catalyst to unlock the economy. And we and everybody else, including the government, has been advocating for the construction industry to be used as a catalyst to unlock that economy. So as the COVID Rapid Response Task Team, we want to lobby and assist as far as we can to provide the government with medium and short-term ideas and goals so that we can unlock the economy and create employment. At the end of the day, it's about the man in the street who is not earning any money. En soos hulle voorheen hier op julle program gesê het, dis om brood op die tafel te sit.
John, goeiemôre ook dan hier van Elsa. I just want you to tell us in a nutshell, or in essence, what was the impact of COVID-19 on the construction industry?
Also, morning to you. The impact was huge. I mean, I don't want to quote numbers, but if you can imagine that you shut down an industry, you shut down a country and you shut down an industry. And let me give you an example of where we are in terms of that at the moment. We've seen no growth in the economy, in the building industry for the last 10 years. And obviously over the lockdown period, it was even worse. The real challenge that we have at the moment is that contractors are not being paid, and they haven't been paid for a very long time. Employees haven't been paid for a very long time. And to make matters worse, the debacle with the UIF has not been encouraging and has not assisted people on the ground, including employers, to be able to offer any assistance to their employees. So the lockdown has been very dire in terms of the whole spectrum of the construction industry. And when I talk about the whole spectrum, I talk about the basic employer from the bakkie builders with 3 or 4 employees on the back of the bakkie, right through to the most professional people and the huge construction companies. Everybody has been affected very, very badly. In terms of numbers, in terms of my company and probably many other companies, we've probably been set back by 2 to 3 years in trying to get back to where we are pre-COVID.
Yeah, I know of one guy in construction. I mean, he lost, I think, 4 million a week since lockdown, his company. And that's a lot of money. Ons gaan nou verder gesels, so met nêrens heen gaan nie. Ons after the 7 o'clock news, we still got a lot of questions for you, John, so we'll chat to you just now. John Matthews, ons gesels verder, groepshoof van Garden Cities, president van Master Builders South Africa, en dan ook die voorsitter van die COVID-19 Construction Rapid Response Task Team. Welcome back, John.
Thank you very much.
We spoke about the industry and really in trouble. Been in trouble before COVID, basically. I mean, if you look at big construction companies, that's now mining companies, or the ones that just closed down. You think there's going to be a big change in the industry with guys that can't get back into business?
You know, you can only have change. You can't keep on doing the same thing and expect a different result. So you can only have change if there is real change and there is a different action to be able to get a different reaction. And by that I mean, pre-COVID, the construction industry was owed some 6 billion rand in debt, in payments that were older than 90 days, mostly through the public sector and the private sector. Now, if we don't change that approach and we don't change that mindset by getting the cash to start flowing to the contractors that have done the work but are not getting paid, we're actually not going to see a change in the result. The only way we're going to do that is by unlocking the cash flow. That's in COVID, currently and post-COVID, cash is king. So the only way you can do that is to get the cash starting to flow. That is for existing contracts. The immediate solution is we need to get back to our existing contracts. And then the next challenge that needs to be taken on, and that's what the COVID team is going to do, is approach government and lobby furiously to get the government to start spending all this money that they've been talking about in terms of infrastructure build. And besides allocating it, we need to spend it and we need to get the employment going as soon as possible. We can't go into these long processes and drawn out processes of tendering and waiting for years to be allocating contracts. The construction industry and any industry at the moment do not have the time nor the patience to be having that situation at the moment.
And the last question, John, when it comes to safety, like the mining industry is still being hit hard by the COVID-19 because guys are very close to each other. The biggest challenges in construction to keep it safe for workers. What's your biggest concern?
Our biggest concern is that, you know, with great power, Voltaire said, with great power comes great responsibility. So we now have the power in our hands to start working again. But with that comes the responsibility of ensuring that we personally, including all our employees, needs to be safe. We must create a safe environment for our employees to come back to. It serves no purpose having opened the economy, having opened all your sites, and then having to close it down a week or two later because you've had contamination on your site. And that can only happen if you follow the guidelines that we have lobbied for and we have presented, and the guidelines are now, the health and safety regulations is law at the moment. follow those guidelines and educate yourself and all your employees on how to minimize the risk of contamination. We can all be happy that we've opened up, but if we do not open up with the necessary precautions and the necessary rules and regulation and implementing the necessary rules and regulations that have been put in place and that have been advocated, we're actually heading for another disaster, because closing your site and closing the construction industry again, I don't think anybody will survive beyond that.
John, thank you so much for your time and your professionalism and your insight. Hopefully it turns for the better as soon as possible.
Baie dankie en sterkte vorentoe.
Selfde daar, sterkte daar in die Kaap. Jo.